Pass that up and set the next
Why are they taking pictures? How creepy.
That's so creepy. And who's the last person I group? Kiara.
Okay.
And then there's
The little step on it.
let's go ahead and wait till everybody sits down and get ready to go. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Go for it.
How do you think social media influences acceptance of cultural diversity?
Very good question. Well, number one, repeat the question.
I tried my best. How do you think social media influences acceptance of cultural diversity?
How do I think it influences? Well, number one, it provides accessibility. It provides the opportunity to learn about different cultures, different ways of life, different languages. From that perspective, when there's an understanding, there's more of a inclination of acceptance. We traditionally, as individuals, won't accept things that we don't understand. But when you understand it, you're more able to make an informed decision whether or not you're going to roll with something or you're not. From a cultural diversity perspective, it provides transparency because now it's open. Now you have the ability to kind of tap into what other demographics are doing, thinking, how they're talking, how they're acting, how they're operating. You know, if you were to tell me back in 1975, and I wasn't even born at the time, but if you were to tell me in 1975 that the phrase "turn up" would be acceptable usage, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. But in 2013, "turn up" is widely understood by the masses, and that is that's a reflection of the accessibility of social media. Because if social media didn't exist, would the masses really know what "turn up" meant? No.
Okay, it seems a lot of students have become distracted with social media. What do you think could be a solution?
Students get distracted by a lot of stuff. Students get distracted by relationships. You get distracted by hunger. You get distracted by what you're going to be doing once you get out of school. And there's no solutions for that outside of eating and the clock striking 4:45. But you know, I'm not one to say that a student will only be distracted because of social media. When you establish an environment that is engaging, that is innovative, that is exciting, then your students are going to be more inclined to be with you wherever you're going. Think about it from a personal perspective. Who wants to be on a phone conversation when you're the only person talking? Nobody. Those are like the most boring, most dullest conversations ever.
Talking to yourself.
When you're talking to yourself. Because you might as well just go in the mirror and look at yourself in the bathroom and just say, "How you doing?" "Yeah, I'm good. How about yourself?"
What if it's like a horror
fine.
movie and it starts talking back to you? Paranormal
Then
activity.
Houston, we have a problem. But when you have an innovative and engaging environment, you're more inclined to have everyone's undivided attention. And so I won't accept social media as a means of a distraction. I think, we're in the 21st century. We're in a situation where you have to make adjustments. You have to be transparent. You have to be open to change. You have to be open to adjust. And opposed from complaining about what social media does, leverage it. Use it. Because there's a lot more good in it than there is bad.
Okay. How has social media led to a push from pen and paper to digital?
Say that one more time.
How has social media led to a push from pen and paper to digital?
I don't necessarily know if social media has led to it. I think the internet did that. But from the perspective of wanting to communicate electronically, social media is faster. It's real time, and it it's less work. It's less work. And I think where we are as a society is that, we want everything quick and easy. We want quick, easy stuff, Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. It depends on what the situation or the circumstance is. Social media's role in that, though, from a communication perspective is, now it's a two-way engagement situation, as opposed to pen and paper is only one way, me to you. Social media allows now a conversation to occur. Because if I tweet something and you're following me, then you have the access to respond to me. And now you've created an engaging situation, circumstance, or process. Those are the conversations, those are the environments that are more likely to establish better and firmer understanding of theories, ideas, philosophies than one-way communication. One-way communication almost comes off as a command as opposed to a conversation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What do you think about in schools and high schools, some teachers may say to their kids, like for example in first floor where I teach, and I had a teacher who said make a Twitter account. And so we made a Twitter account, and that's how we would interact with our teachers and peers. But what do you think about elementary kids using that, but when they have to have the consent of their parents? So do you think it's appropriate for elementary schools using social media?
Well, I mean, if that's the case, I think first of all it's appropriate for us to have some type of instruction on the proper terms of use for social media, if that's the direction that we're going to go in. If you think about everyday life, we all have laws that exist that are designed to protect us. And the older you get, the more you understand why certain things exist. At 17, you have a better and firmer understanding of why you can't take a Twix out of the grocery store without paying for it, as opposed to being 4 or 6 in your mom's shopping cart and you reach out to get a Twix and you just put it in your pocket. There's a deeper and a better understanding because of the maturity level within your mind and ability to actually understand right from wrong and comprehending why certain things are in place. So from that perspective, I don't necessarily know if I would be advocating for elementary students to be on Twitter, only because the parameters of Twitter are open, are wide open. And they're more inclined to put themselves in positions that aren't necessarily healthy. And they're more inclined to actually be more distracted at that level of thinking and reasoning than a high school student who has gone through several steps within the educational process to understand how things are supposed to run. Now, from the high school perspective, I would almost advocate that if there are going to be interactions on Twitter, that it doesn't start with teachers and students following each other. It starts with the conversation from a hashtag. That way you protect both the teacher and the student from any inappropriate situations presenting themselves.
Okay. What high school has the most positive use of social media?
In the world? Or Irving ISD?
Irving
I
ISD.
was about to say, that's a tough question. The most positive use? From what I can see?
Yes.
Okay, well, from what I can see, I would say Nimitz High School, from what I can see. Now, you guys might think something else, I don't know. But from what I can see, Nimitz High School actively uses it to the point where I think their high school kind of almost has nearly 2,000 followers. And there's a lot of pride, there's a lot of promotion that occurs from that particular school.
Do you feel okay about excited on Friday?
Okay.
Do you want me to read yours for you?
I'm right here.
You're just doing perfect. I just want you to choose the resources you're gonna use. Really,
I
what said
love
is next
you.
week we'll work on the escalation.
That's what your arm says?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, okay.
okay. This one's actually for you. So, in your personal experience, how many incidents of social media misuse in schools have you witnessed, and how many have related to the academy?
I know of one with the academy.
Yeah, no, you can get, that's why I put those on.
And I wouldn't say it was misuse, because the student and I actually
So yeah,
met.
you're welcome.
He had, well, you know what, it wasn't a misuse, actually. It was really the proper use. He voiced his opinion. We all have First Amendment rights. We have the opportunity to say what we feel. Now, you understand that you have First Amendment rights, freedom of speech with responsibility. He had concerns about the district app. It came across my desk. Me and the student had a conversation, and potentially he might be a part of the team that we establishes the Eli.
Eli. There
I
we
was
go.
like,
Yeah,
is
it's
it
Eli.
Eli or
Okay, we know this
Nathan?
story.
I was
We
like,
know
is it
this
Eli or
one. Yeah.
Nathan? Which one?
Me and the student had an opportunity to sit down, and he probably will be a part of the team that will reestablish the district app once we take it to that level. So it was actually a good use. So I haven't seen any misuse from the academy perspective. I would almost venture out to say that I don't see enough usage from the academy. And if it is being used from the academy, it's not under my radar. And that probably needs to get changed, because I want to be able to support you just like I want you guys to be able to support us.
Yeah, Eli told us all about that last year. Or at least in my digital interactive media class. It was so much fun.
Miss him now.
I have it in my English class. Do we have time for the other questions or
It's 3 o'clock now.
3? Yeah, we should probably. No more done, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What did Eli tell you guys?
Oh no, he just told us about how he had a meeting with
Me?
yeah, with you, and then he was like, oh yeah, I might be working with the team now, Shortest. He was all cheerful that day. He gave me candy.
Good deal.
Good deal. He tells me his story.